Hello everyone, welcome to this panel discussion. This is 11th episode of our panel discussion series on SDGs. I am your host Aarti Bagli Gill. I am AIF Global Ambassador and CBSE resource person. By this panel discussion, we are supporting a number of SDGs. We are primarily educators, so we are supporting quality education, that is SDG 4, and we are supporting one campaign, that is Action Campaign by UNO. Now, for today's panel discussion, we have respected panelists in our group. That is Miss Suruchi Sharma. She is from the field of education. She is AIF resource person. Miss Pushpalata Chaudhary. She is again from the field of education, AIF master trainer. Miss Sumedha Chaturvedi. She is from the field of counseling. She is AIF master trainer. So I welcome all the respectful panelists in this panel discussion. For today's topic, I can say I can support for Act for SDGs. I unite to act, and for this link, you can also connect and support this Facebook link. So in description box, the link is given. You can support as an educator or from any other field. You can support SDGs by your one action. I believe learning benefits every human being and should be available to all of us. Let's encourage the youth about SDGs, and that is why we all educators are working on these SDG series, awareness series to work on it and to motivate people. So today's topic of discussion in terms of education system, of course, is life below water. Every panel discussion is focused and related to the education system, as we all are educators here, and definitely we are looking forward to motivate the youth to work on these SDGs and to reach that goal of 2030. So first of all, I would like to invite one of our panelists for this very first slide of discussion, that is the introduction part of SDG 14. Please.
Hello everyone. SDG 14, that is life below water, is to preserve and responsibly utilize the seas, oceans, and marine resources. It focuses on the protection and sustainable use of marine ecosystems. As we all know, oceans are vital to life on Earth. They make up over 71% of the planet's surface and are essential for billions of people's food, energy, biodiversity, and economic well being. Oceans support biodiversity, they give food, they produce oxygen, control the climate, and support the livelihoods of billions of people, making them essential to life on Earth. However, pollution, overfishing, habitat degradation, and climate change are posing a growing threat to them. SDG 14 addresses the challenges by setting specific targets such as reducing marine pollution, protecting marine and coastal ecosystems, regulating fishing practices, and increasing scientific research. The goal also emphasizes the importance of supporting small scale fishers, conserving marine areas, and implementing international laws. Achieving SDG 14 is crucial for the health of marine life and for ensuring that oceans continue to benefit present and future generations. Global cooperation, responsible consumption, technological innovation, and public awareness are essential for the success of this goal. SDG 14 reflects the urgent need to restore the balance between human activities and ocean health for a sustainable future. So, rest, my other panelists will keep on discussing with you and give you the brief about it. Our target is just to preserve the blue and protect the earth.
Very truly
Over
said,
to
ma'am, to protect the earth. That is what the target is. Let's move ahead with this discussion and talk about the objectives of SDGs. Let's talk about the objectives of SDGs.
Good evening, everyone. Taking the thoughts of Sumedha ma'am forward, I would just say that because life originated beneath the sea. So if we are saving the marine life, we are saving our future. Taking the thought forward, I would say this SDG 14, which is mainly related to conserving and sustainable use of ocean, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development, it has actually 10 targets, out of which 7 targets are the outcome targets, and the rest of the 3 targets, as you can see on the slide, are means of implementation targets. Now we can go through these one by one. The first one is related to prevention and significantly reduce the marine pollution of all kinds. The pollution of all kinds means the first and foremost which comes to our mind is the plastic pollution. Plastic is used everywhere and in all forms at our homes. And we know that it is highly resistant to biodegradation or weathering processes. So, if we do not reduce the use of plastics, it would seriously threaten the marine life. It also includes eutrophication, nutrient pollution, which is caused due to eutrophication. In the language of science, we would say that we are adding nutrient to the water bodies. In turn, it is giving rise to a lot of pollution, and the algal growth is there, because of which the marine life is not able to sustain. The second goal, the second target, is to achieve sustainably manage and protect marine life and the ecosystem so that their adverse effects can be avoided, and this can be done by building their resilience. The third target is to manage and protect marine and coastal uh, life and take action for their restoration. The fourth target is related to the ending. We need to put an end to overfishery because it is hampering the marine life, and it needs to be reported because it is illegal and unregulated. We, in the according to the fifth target, we need to conserve at least 10% of coastal marine life, which is consistent. It can be made consistent with the national and the international laws, which are based on specific scientific information. Now, the sixth target is related to contributing uh, uh, to the economic benefits that we are getting from the sustainable use of marine resources. Now, the last 3 targets, as I've already told you, is related to the implementation. We need to increase the scientific knowledge and technology in a way that we are able to sustain marine life, because we are still in the process of research and we are not really aware of how to sustain the marine life. We also need to provide access to support the small scale fishery so that they have the access to the marine uh, ecosystem. And the last target is to implement and enforce the international laws, which is also reflected in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. So it would provide a legal framework for the conservation and sustainable use of seas and their resources. So these are all the objectives of SDG 14, which are supposed to be achieved by 2030, and for each of the objective, there are specific indicators which indicate whether we have achieved a particular objective or not. With this, I can
Thank you
end
so
my
much,
speech.
ma'am, for this. I want to put some light on the word nutrification, the word which you have used during all these targets, explaining the targets. So, what is that, ma'am? Kindly share.
In eutrophication, actually, we are providing a lot of fertilizers in the field. Now, when we irrigate that field, the fertilizer along with that water goes into the water bodies which are nearby that field. Now, because fertilizer is actually the nutrient for the crops. Now, that fertilizer, when it enters the water body, it releases a lot of nutrient in the water, and it causes an increase in the algal growth. And because algal growth is on the surface of the water bodies, the aquatic animals and plants are not able to breathe properly or survive properly.
True. Thank you so much, ma'am, for putting light on all the different objectives. And of course, we have indicators for that too. So the idea behind all these objectives and the specific indicators is to work on these all different targets and to reach all these different targets, keeping in view that one of the target is sustainable fishing, but on the other hand, supporting the small scale fishers also. So this is again an irony, but still different targets are there, and let's see how it goes basically. Now, quickly moving towards the effects part, how this SDG 14 is affecting the growth of our country. So every time we are talking about a specific SDG, and the idea behind talking is how it is affecting the growth of our country. And we, as we all know, we are in a phase where we are looking forward our country to be a developed nation. So I invite next panelist to talk about this. Kindly unmute yourself, ma'am.
Thank you, Aarti ma'am, for inviting me. So I will be moving forward with the SDG 14 effects growth of in our country. So as we all know that life below water focuses on conserving oceans, seas and marine resources. And we all know that 18% of the world's population in India resides in India. And today country is facing challenges, whereas clean and safe water is concerned. So we also know that our Indian coastline is around say 7,500 kilometer, and it has got a significant fishing industry also. And how SDG 14 is affecting India's growth is also very crucial, because India is making efforts in the case of SDG 14, but it is improving very, very moderately. So we move forward here and we will talk about it, coastal protection, which is very important here because it helps in the economic growth of India, as we are the second largest fish producing country in the world. Then job creation, oceans are creating a lot of jobs for our people, and we have a lot of communities which are dependent upon the oceans for their livelihood. Then the conservation efforts are very, very much in action. We are trying to do the coastal protection. India is implementing marine protection area, which is called the MPA. And it is a network to manage the marine resources and its diversity. And the MPAs have identified around 129 and 0.3 of its total geographic area. Then we also have mangrove conservation, when we know that a large part of our coastal areas is also covered by mangroves. And also, monitoring and improving the water quality is also very, very important. And that is why we are having the coastal waters and rivers, we need to keep them clean. And because as ma'am was talking, it is very important, to keep the dissolved oxygen very much the dissolved oxygen in water level at a very constant rate, so the marine animals can survive in it. So it is very important to monitor the quality of water. The pH level of the water has to be maintained, and these indicators are constantly reviewed by these processes. And we know that there are a lot of challenges still which is going on. The pollution is still there, overfishing is still happening, water quality is still going down. But the government is still showing initiatives for this, because our national mission for clean Ganga has been focusing on treatment of water, solid waste management, and riverfront development is going on. And then we are also going forward with our Swachh Bharat mission aimed at reducing open defecation and improving sanitation. This has going on from past years, and it has really taken in a lot of areas where people have become aware of this, and a lot of toilets have been installed in all over the places. Then we also have marine protected areas which are managing and conserving our marine biodiversity, and lot of our marine diversity has come back and has been revived. And there are a lot of NGOs and people who are showing their personal interest in, reviving our beaches, etc., where people are putting in, they are volunteering to do all these things. And which is great to see that people are coming forward and recognizing the need of cleanliness here. Even the plastic waste management, as ma'am just talked about, we are banning single use plastics. We are to reduce marine pollution. So, and I think from here, I think the way forward could be that India needs a balance between economic growth and the sustainable use of any kind of marine resource which we are using. And implementing, I think, SDG 14 will require a continuous effort, not only from the side of government, but I think each and every one of us needs to put in our part and, add to it, so that the quality of water is, improved, and all the indigenous people who are into it, who are dependent on these resources to make them better and more sustainable. And we not only conserve our marine life and ecosystem, also all these people who are connected to them, all our communities and all our generations which have been connected to these marine resources for that. And I think in due time, though we are moving very slowly, but in due time, SDG 14 will affect growth, and we are going to reach that one day. Thank you very much for your time, ma'am. I'll put it
Perfectly
forward to the
said, ma'am.
next.
Though slowly we are moving towards the target, but yes, efforts are never countless. Every time putting any kind of effort will definitely give a result. So yes, looking forward for some positive efforts in the upcoming future, and of course the results as well. Now, this next question is a very open question for all the viewers and for the respected panelists too. What do you feel? What kind of changes we can do in an education system of our country, or any what you can say, any activity or any kind of project or dissertation program for the students, so that we can make this SDG 14 possible, to encourage the youth to understand the need of the time. What do you think? Viewers can write in the comment box, and respected panelists, it's an open question for all of you. Kindly share yours, please.
Ma'am, first of all, children needs to know the importance of sustainability, because we don't own the planet. Every life has his or her part over here to sustain. We cannot take away that particular right from whether they are able to express or not. That's a different thing, but every life is here to sustain, and we don't have any right to take it. So
True.
the children, the students need to understand this first thing, and they should follow the 4 R's. That is very easy to follow for them, because if they refuse to use such things which are creating pollution, specifically plastic, it can reduce. They can
Definitely.
reuse it, they can
Mhm.
recycle it. So in this way, the waste gets reduced. So this is a very small thing on the part of students which they can do.
Perfect. Any other panelists who want to add on, please?
Yes, ma'am, I would like to add on. And I think, from the very basic, very small classes, we can reiterate the need of keeping, conserving water, conserving electricity. Not only SDG 4, I think all our resources need to be conserved to make it a better place for them to live in, because this is the whole aim of SDGs, to make a better future for our next generations. And if we don't teach them how to conserve it, how to utilize it, and how to leave it for their next generation as well. So if we teach them from the very early ages, it becomes a lifestyle for them. And we will not have to tell them to point out at these things later on. It'll become ingrained in there. It'll be intrinsic in their being and the way they conduct themselves daily. And I think that's how we can do it. And our schools are really doing, Aarti ma'am, not to say every school is doing their part in this, but I think we don't only need to do it in school. It has to be an extension of the work what they are doing at home. The We need to educate our parents as well. We need to get them on, let the teacher, all the little students, they can be our brand ambassadors going back home, and teaching their mates, teaching their
True.
parents, everybody else, and bringing on board to this whole thing. So that is how our SDG is going to move forward faster. And that is how I believe we can get everybody on board, with our little kids being an army there who will go out and, bring a change. Thank you so
I
much.
truly agree with it. Yes, I believe in it, and I perfectly feel that yes, little children, they are the brand ambassador. When they tell the things at home to their parents, it will give a tremendous, impact on their life. Yes, true. So with this, we are ending this discussion, and thank you, viewers, for watching this episode. You can share your queries at abcteaching875@gmail.com. You can check the description box for all the important links. You can support the links. You can support I Unite to Act for SDGs campaign. You can support UN campaign as well, and you can mark your attendance in the link given in the description box, and you can check the certificate generation link also there. So thank you so much, viewers, for watching this panel discussion. Bye bye and take care, everyone.